This tutorial will teach you how to make a desk organizer out of cereal boxes. Use it to store your paper, pen, pencils, or anything you need on your desk. For this project, you'll need cereal boxes, all of the same width. Your boxes should line up evenly on each end for best results. You'll also need tape, a ruler, scissors, a pen, and a glue stick and glue gun. You might also want some decorative paper, newspaper or wrapping paper, and washi tape or clear tape to seal the edges. To start, roll some clear tape to stick the cereal boxes together. This will help make sure that the boxes stay lined up as you are measuring your angles. Attach each box front to back so that the sides align evenly. Once your boxes are aligned, decide which box will be the back and which box will be the front. For the box in the back, use your ruler to measure up the sides. Make sure that your ruler is lined up at the bottom of the box and measure 10 inches up the side of your box. For the other side, measure 7 inches up the top. If your boxes are flimsy and wobbling around, you could stuff them with newspaper to make them a little more stable as you're measuring. Once you have your 10 inches and 7 inches marked, use your ruler to line up the dots and draw a diagonal line across all 3 boxes, connecting the dots. Again, if your boxes are flimsy or wobbling, you might need to try this more than once. Repeat the practice on the other side, measuring 10 inches on the back box, 7 inches on the front box, and draw your diagonal line to connect the dots. Once this is done, you can separate the boxes and extend your line to the front and back of the box. Use your ruler to draw a straight line across the front and back, connecting the dots that you drew. Repeat this with the other 2 boxes. Once you have all your lines marked, you can take the newspaper out and use your scissors to cut all the lines that you drew. Once all your angles are cut, you can stuff the boxes again with newspaper to help them line up as you glue them together. Use your hot glue gun to add glue to the front of the back box and add the next box. Repeat for the 3rd box. There you have it. Your structure is made. If you don't have a glue gun, you could also use Elmer's glue to glue the boxes together. You'll just have to wait for them to dry. Now you're ready to add the decorative paper to the outside of your boxes. You could use decorative paper, newspaper, or wrapping paper to finish the sides. I'm going to use decorative paper and put right sides together so that the pattern matches up when I put it on the outside of my box. I'll stack the papers neatly and then line up the side of my box with the edges of the paper, making sure that the corners match. Then use a pencil to trace around the edges. This shows the outside edge of my box. I'm going to use my ruler to straighten out the lines and then carefully hold them together while I cut the edges out. Now I have both sides of my box cut. I can use my regular glue to glue these on in a bit, but first I'm going to cut out paper for the front and the back of the box. Same thing, I'll put face down and line up the back of the box with the back of the paper and trace using my pencil. If it looks like your line is crooked, you might use a ruler to make sure the line is straight before you cut. Now I just have the front of my box. Repeat the process by lining up the edges of my box with the edges of my paper, trace the sides, or if it's too hard to see behind the box, you can use a ruler to draw a straight line across the top and cut out the front of your paper. Now that all 4 sides are cut, I can use my Elmer's glue to glue the paper onto the box. Make sure you use even pressure to apply the paper to the box. When all sides are covered, inspect your work. Do the edges line up? Do you need to trim any sides? You can take the newspaper out and make your final adjustments. You can trim if the paper overhangs. Make sure all the edges of your paper line up evenly with the sides of your box. To seal the edges, you could use clear tape or washi tape. Whichever tape you use, make sure that you trim the edges neatly and fold over crisply. Repeat this for all corners of the box. You can also do the same technique on the top of the box and in between where the boxes come together. And just like that, your project is done. Look at what you've made out of what most people consider trash. Now that you know the process, you could try it with different size boxes or for different purposes. What will you create next?